Talking about Hispanic Heritage Month, and as we celebrate, we'd like to highlight right now a Latina leader who has overcome obstacles to find success, and she's trying to empower a lot of you out there to do the same. Joining me now is inspirational speaker, author, and podcast host Diana Pagano. A pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Tim. Thank you.
Glad to have you come in here just to give some people inspiration to start their Monday. You are a first-generation Mexican-American. You were telling me about that just a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Talk to me about why your culture is so important to you and sort of the place it plays in your heart right now.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tim. It's happy to be here. So, yes, I mean, first-generation Mexican-American, grew up in San Diego. My parents are from Monterrey, Mexico. And, you know, one of the things that I just learned at such a young age is my parents did everything they could to make it happen for us and raise 4 children. We had hard times, you know, having 6 family members in 2-bedroom apartments. But one thing that really taught me, you know, and I'm sure many cultures, not just Mexicans, but just the Hispanic culture and many cultures even outside, is, you know, perseverance. When you work hard, you know, the work ethic that I got from my mom and being able to, you know, use that later in life has been so amazing. Us Mexicans and Hispanics in general, we play hard, we love hard, we fight hard for what we believe in. And that has really brought me to a whole nother level of appreciation as a Hispanic woman that, you know, we could rewrite the story. We can build that new traditions because in our culture, especially with my mom, I remember, you know, the woman eats last, we shower last, we take care of the family and the kids. But to know that we can still have those traditions and even build upon those to have women leaders, to have, you know, we can lead businesses, we can lead others, and maybe even lead a country one day, Tim.
Yeah. And it's good to see. And it's great that you're keeping that culture going because that's not always a given. Sometimes you have a lot of cultures where that first generation coming to the United States, it's about assimilation. Exactly. And maybe you carry some of the culture over. But there's, like you're saying, there's no reason why you can't do both at the same time.
Exactly. And, you know, Tim, my mom, you know, she shares her story with me since I was a little kid. And even now, like she was 5 years old in Mexico, and she jumped on a truck to go plant, you know, tomatoes and pick oranges. And she was so little that, you know, no one really wanted her to do it, but she fought hard to provide. And, you know, her first pair of shoes, Tim, wasn't until she was 12 years old.
Right.
So just coming from that, I hold that dear to my heart because you can never take life for granted. And life is supposed to be so amazing and beautiful, and there's so many opportunities that really awaits all of us.
Right.
But when we have those barriers that we could really break through, we have more control in the decisions that we're making to break through those barriers, that we can either keep them alive or we can control that. And that's what my passion is because of what I've done in my life, even as a single mom once upon a time, struggling as a real estate agent in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so I used all that stuff that I was really just the psychology behind what empowers humans. Why do we do the things that we do as humans? Why do some people succeed and other people struggle? And so that became my passion, my own self-discovery, and be able to understand that you can't make things happen unless you change the channel that lives in your brain on those limiting beliefs that hold us back, and they manifest to something more. And this is backed by science, Tim, that you know, research shows. And so that's what I'm so passionate about, is helping others to make things happen in their lives, whatever that looks like for them personally, maybe even professionally, and really reach those higher success levels that they dream about, because it really can happen. And I'm proof of it, because I remember once upon a time having these limiting beliefs. Right. It wasn't that I wasn't trying. It was that I was allowing false beliefs come into play. So
I know there's so much more you got to get out. Of course, TV is always so cursory, we don't have time to get to it. But like you said, an author, a podcast host, you've done a good job telling your story and being inspirational now. So real quickly, where people can go if they want to find more about you.
Absolutely. DianaPagano.com. If you go to my website now, you can have access to my free ebook. It's an amazing short read. It's Change Your Mindset, Change Your Life, before my big book comes out next year.
There you go. Diana, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. A wonderful life story, right? You said San Diego to Scottsdale, back here to Connecticut. I'm sure there are other stops on the way you didn't get a chance to talk to, too. But thank you for sharing just a part of your story with us.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you for having me.